Good morning, and I am at Gold Coast Airport, and we're going on our way to Tasmania for a couple of days. I've been up on that land in the subtropical rainforest of Goongarrie, and it was absolutely amazing to be up there and just to be free, out of infrastructure, in nature, just beautiful, lovely. And what I wanted to come and talk about today is this idea of, you've set an intention, and it's going to be, you have to change, you're going to have to change your habits, you're going to have to change the way you do things, and it's just uncomfortable. It feels like, oh, do I really have to do that? How am I going to do that? Oh, and it just feels like a huge effort to change the way you're going to do things. And no one likes change. No one likes really moving house, packing boxes. No one really likes handing in a resignation letter. No one really likes saying, mate, I'm sorry, but we can't really be friends anymore. No one likes that stuff. No one is like, yes, let's go and do change. It just doesn't feel comfortable. But staying stagnant and staying in the situations that you're in isn't comfortable either. It doesn't feel right when it feels like Groundhog Day. So I think if you are going to set powerful intentions, you're going to have to feel uncomfortable. And you're going to have to look at how you deal with your reactions to uncomfortableness. And if I think back to childbirth, when I birthed Isla, I did quite a bit of research and reading, and I was looking at there's this brilliant book called Spiritual Midwifery, and it's like some 70s book, and it's about how the hippies used to have babies in their buses, in caravans, like as in they would follow each bus and they call that a caravan. And they created their own midwifery, and it's actually been a really important shift in how childbirth, how you can have children without all the medical intervention and the over-scientification of it all, and just being too clinical and fearful of having a baby. And in the Spiritual Midwifery book, they don't call it contractions. So if you have a contraction, there's this feeling of like, everything's tightening and everything's going to hurt, and like, oh my God, I'm going to contract, shit, help. And actually, if you could change that word to rushes, so you're rushing open, that you're allowing, that you're going to ride a wave, that it's going to go, like you expand so that the baby can come out, rather than bearing down and holding tight and being scared of how it's going to feel. So for me, when I think about, okay, I want my life to change, I want to set new intentions, am I going to tighten and kind of resist things shifting and changing and expanding, or am I going to rush open and allow? And I think that's a really important distinction when you want change and you want transformation and you want to be the new person, the person you really knew you could be, or you think that as humans we can all be different and you're going to have to be on the leading edge of what that looks like. It's uncomfortable. So that was one point, was just the opening and rushing with the changes rather than contracting and shrinking and holding tight and hoping it's not going to hurt. The other thing I was thinking about was, if you're on a roller coaster, are you like, wah, and like feeling all like elated because you're jumping into the void and this machine is going to take you on some unknowing, journey of excitement, and are you like closing your eyes and freaking out, or are you putting your hands in the air and celebrating the rush? Same analogy, I guess. So yesterday was all about these intentions that we all set as a group. There's about 20 odd of us that have set all these intentions 3 months ago, and I just wanted to know how you've got on with those changes. And I know that for me, a lot of the changes that have happened is because I've been brave, courageous, and willing to let go of all the old stuff. Where I live, what I'm doing, who I'm doing it with, how we're doing education with my daughter, like reinventing the wheel. And it's all there's hard work involved, getting all the dominoes in line and getting everything in place. It's not like, I just clapped my hands and it all happened. I'm dedicating myself to the shift, the changes. So if you have set intentions and they're big and they're scary, see how you can approach the journey of it. See how you can actually enjoy the expansion and the journey bit, rather than feeling like it's hard and horrible and scary. And maybe learn to feel what it likes to have, what it feels like to have no structure, no ground below you. and then just have confidence that, let me give you confidence that even when things feel like they've all crumbled and the new stuff hasn't happened yet, just know that it is, your intention is so powerful, and your belief in yourself and what you want from your life is so powerful that it does take shape eventually. It does take shape. And if you're right now completely, say, I do this work with clients, we look at your elements. Say your elements are completely upside down, like you're actually standing on your head. That is how unbalanced your life is. It looks the right way up to you because you've been standing on your head for that long. If you start shifting into the balance that your spirit, your higher self, that your life really calls for, if it starts, you start shifting towards that, like, okay, I'm going to come into a more natural balance for me, then it feels like you're in a washing machine for a while. Like you're turning around and around in circles until you find your feet, the real feet, the ones you're supposed to be standing on. Not some other person's feet or some other person's dream for you. This is your dream. And actually putting your feet into your own shoes, it can feel weird if you've been standing on your head or for years. So when I'm talking about elements, I'm talking about how you use your fire, how you use your water, earth and air. So like we're looking at how you use your passion, your drive, your creativity, how do you relate to your emotional body, how how grounded are you, how do you use your resources effectively, and how do you use your mind and, you know, the air, the mind and your thoughts and your consciousness and your imagination, how are they being used effectively? And if you're all mashed up and your water, your emotions are in your fire, the fire keeps getting dampened, your passion is just waning. Or if there's too much water in your earth, then you're stuck, your feet are stuck, you're procrastinating, you're lazy, you can't actually move forward because your emotions have dampened all of your resources and all the way you choose to use them. So if we are all mixed up in our elements, and if we've got everything like we're out of balance, then it's really difficult to create change. And coming into a balance can also feel difficult because everything is not as it seemed or as you thought it seemed. So right now I feel like I'm free falling, like when I looked into my own elements, just a little bit of insight, I looked at my elements, and my fire and my water and my air are like these elemental dragon birds that are like torpedoing at high speed and everything is just burning, everything is just flying, and it looks impressive and dangerous and like a rush, and that nothing is certain, and that's okay. That is okay, because I know I'm in deep process of burning my old life to the ground, ready to build a new one, and that's okay. So I'm just being very kind to my little human. So like my higher self knows all is good, the future looks fine, everything is actually okay. But my human is like, oh my God, what's happening? So I'm just being kind to myself and just reassuring myself, as I reassure you, that setting powerful intentions might be scary, but it's a trip that is worth taking. And yeah, go for it, do it. Set some intentions that make you feel uncomfortable and start taking action. Start stepping into your new shoes. I love you guys, and I will report back from Tasmania at some point. Bye!